Hello everybody and welcome back to another reading. I'm going to wait. Yes, I'm going to do the weekly fairy check-in to see what's going to happen this week. What can we expect? And then I'm going to ask the Karma Angels for advice. These are angels who are ordained and spiritually authorized to call karma upon those alive and dead. Just to say that as literal as possible. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, exactly. Wait. I'm gonna light some candles. Fairies and good folk. Ancestors. Spirit animals. Alright. Let us begin. A lot of movement. Mostly noise of movement, so you could experience a lot of energetic backlash and sound this week based off of the moves that you're making. So the way that you're scheduling in your work days, or the way that you communicate with others about your boundaries or your plans. Whatever it is, it has to do with interaction with the outer world and showing what you're doing. And I'm feeling like you will hear a lot of noise coming back to you. Fairies, good folk, elemental spirits, and I would like to ask you to give us clarity on what's going to happen this week, pardon me. Yeah. Somebody wants to teach you a lesson. Spirit is saying or two. Ancestors, actually, exactly, and the fairies. It was to the number 5. So 2 to 5. That's 3. You will have a good day tomorrow, Monday. Tuesday, please. Thank you. Oh, wow, interesting. On Tuesday, you will also have a good day, but you will be making less of that decision yours. Monday, you will be more, I feel like saying, making choices coming off or from an independent. Well, that's actually weird to say. Coming from an independent perspective, it feels more so like on Monday, you are more free to do what you like. And on Tuesday, you will be more spiritually guided to do what you need to do. Better said. Yeah, 5 to 6 to 16, actually. So that's 7. That's again 2. But then 2 to the 3. Because 29 adds up to 2. And then from 7. Okay, so, wow, there's this, yeah, lack of understanding. So your day, the energy on Monday is going to be more free. Like you are more free to do what you want. And maybe that's also where this noise is coming from. People vibing around you because you're in a good mood. But I'm also seeing there are less responsibilities on Monday. Maybe you have an off day, or you don't really have anything planned. Whatever it is, Monday is going to be an emotionally more free day. You don't really feel bad. It's more of a cheery vibe. You can experience like making plans. Mostly it's like random, But I'm more so seeing with this baby on the flute, it's very focused on its own melody, right? Like on playing the instrument. So, and other people around it are just dancing and enjoying. So this could also be the spirits around you, the fairies, for an example, the good folk, the gods, goddesses, ascended masters, and the angels, and the spirit animals. But especially like I feel like I want to say forest people. So if you're really in tune with Mother Nature, Mother Nature, Mother Nature. Why did I say Mother Nature? That's interesting because I have never heard that word before. But if you are, what did I want to say? If you're really in tune with Mother Nature, you might experience the like nature being more interactive with you, the wind responding to you, or the trees. They will like rustle, or you will hear like birds singing when you walk somewhere like towards them, or you see them flying around you. So it's going to be more of a magnetic day, and it's because your emotions are rather calm. You are in a stable mood, you're focused, and you're more so putting in effort or energy to, I feel like I want to say, strengthen your ability to not only feel, but to let yourself feel. It's like you're learning more how to embrace the energy, how you're embracing. Yeah, whoa, I suddenly got a shock of something. Okay, yeah, perfect. So I suddenly got a shock, like, am I actually really recording? So you are more so embracing emotions that call for your surrendering, right? Accepting things that are difficult or that may be burdensome to your conscious at the present moment. For example, overthinking or having this fear follow you around. It's like Monday's gonna bring this energy with the full moon in Leo to accept and surrender to what is, even if you don't really appreciate it or if you couldn't control the outcome. And I'm saying couldn't because sometimes you make mistakes as a person, and it's normal, and you decide to have to make certain choices or to pick certain things, a path or a plan, and then eventually you realize it wasn't the best thing to do. So and you are aware that because you are a creator of your reality, that your choices have consequences, right? And those consequences can sometimes end up into you not having any more grip on how your manifestation is coming to reality. So that's how you feel like you really don't have that control. But it's gonna teach you something important because yeah, but I'm gonna keep that a little bit as a secret. You need to understand the epiphany yourself. So on Tuesday it's gonna be more guided, and you can see that it's going. It's like facing each other. I want to say backwards, but it's not really backwards because you can see it from different perspectives. These could also be you learning how to understand now to be a vibe of something around you, people being in the same energy, and you kind of dancing to the beat of somebody else's drum, experiencing proper guidance. You could be opening yourself up to a more active state of following something or somebody that's coaching you, somebody's teaching you. You might go to school or you have a course on Tuesday. Whatever it is, it's giving you an example on how to become a leader, okay? And it's teaching you how to take that control and understand both sides, to be the one that follows and to be the one that takes the lead. And what's important about this is exactly, they're saying that it's important so you become a man of many hats. As you can see, one is dressed in a flower, one is dressed in a bee, one is holding the lantern. So yeah, they're being cute now and saying, I could be a firefly. But it's like, it's like you're all a different type of energy, or in essence, you are, yeah, I keep hearing a man of many heads. You have different versions of yourself, sides to yourself. You could be very handy, and then you could be very creative. You could also be somebody that glues a community together. You could have different responsibilities, and on Tuesday you're really gonna understand why you have these responsibilities. I don't know if you could hear that, but that was my cat. And he was dreaming and he was like whimpering. So it's like, it may be something that you struggle with, having all these responsibilities right now, but it's teaching you a great deal about controlling your life or taking control in a certain way, having that overview when you don't have it from above, having that overview on the ground. So it's also understanding the both sides of, I want to say life, honestly, because it's giving as above, so below. So let's see on Wednesday what the energy is going to be for the collective. It's going to be more of a guiding energy, and it's going to be more passionate, more active. You might feel more driven. So Monday is going to be more flowy and relaxed and just chill. And then Tuesday, you can feel like this energy is like bubbling up. It's coming to the surface and you feel like driven to take action. And okay, I'm not interpreting this in a karmic sense. We could, but that means that I shifted the lens to us learning a lesson. And of course, we always learn a lesson, but the levels and the layers of those lessons and how low in vibration they are very important, because there's a difference between them. And on Wednesday, we have number 2. You see, so we're building kind of down and up, because this also starts with 2 and then we have 5 in the middle. We're learning how to bridge something, okay? Overcome something. Because how I read this now is 2, 5, 2, okay? Together it also makes 8. And with 8, it's giving, this is something that always will come back to the collective, to human consciousness. I want to say it's always a repetitive lesson, because that's a part of life. But with Tuesday and with Wednesday being this more of a mature man, he looks like the leader. Pardon me, he looks like a leader, and he's trying to set an example for the chick that fell from his nest, right? And broke his egg, or actually his shell. It's like they're trying to teach you how to get out of that shell of yours, right? Embrace and hold on to qualities of yourself that you have found difficult to live up to. This looks like somebody who owns up to his responsibilities. When you look back to that dress code of that time and age, this is somebody who has earned those stripes, okay? Also with a very big feather and a high hat, this is somebody with a higher ranking, or somebody who has more power, especially if it's an aristocratic or hierarchical nature or dynamic. This can be work, this can be within your friend group even, this can be within family, but it can also be how you're bossing around certain energies around you. This could be your spiritual team that is trying to teach you something about your own inner child or your own younger self. This could be the adult you, this could be the younger you. So you have to kind of take it how it resonates, but how I'm just reading it is I wanted to say how I'm just getting this like glimpse, like the first impression of this card, how I'm reading it is like there is something that you had to learn, or that you're trying to learn and master on Monday and on Tuesday. You're going to take action on Tuesdays. You're going to practice it, which you learned on Monday. And then on Wednesday, you're going to own it, okay? You're going to accept those responsibilities, and you're going to really hold yourself accountable to structure, but also to rules, to your own regime and your own guidelines. I feel like there's a way that you want to live your life, right? You want to design it in a certain way. You want to create your future, and you understand that there's a certain way of adapting to call that in, to maintain it. And on Wednesday, you're going to not only get the chance to show up and take that role in that form, but also to understand why it's so important that you took that responsibility or that role upon you. You're going to figure it out. You're going to understand it from a higher perspective. Exactly. With 12 on the bottom, it's something that you really had to learn. You had to refine this skill. You had to refine this lesson until the proper piece of wisdom would come out from it. And that has to do with your perspective on life, because we can all look at the truth, but depending on from what standpoint you're looking at it, that will determine how you interpret that truth. Thank you, wise ones. And then on Wednesday, because it's more of a mental energy, right, with Mercury, it's Mercury day, so you will get more of an epiphany, you will get more of a structure in your mind, your thoughts. You can be a little bit bossy or hard or judgmental on yourself, and it's important to pay attention to that and to learn to address things in a different manner to yourself, okay? Because the way that you speak to yourself is very important, since the way that you speak to yourself determines as well how you speak to others, and that is helping you to create networks and bonds and relationships in this world that might take you to where you want to go. So having a good relationship with yourself is a direct reflection of a good relationship with the people around you. Yeah, because he has a red belt and my stomach was growling a little bit, and it's not like I'm hungry. So I was experiencing more of an energy where you might struggle to adapt to this part of yourself or accept this type or version of yourself because it's pretty rigid or stern. It's a very hard masculine energy. This can also correlate with the reading and the live reading I did previously a few hours back. It's the same type of masculine energy that's coming through, especially if you look at this card from a karmic perspective, as in seeing this energy as a threat, right? As somebody who is too much, who has a big mouth, somebody who tries to order people, boss people around. And I can also interpret the card immediately very different when I look at it from that energy, because the ground beneath him is breaking up and he has very skinny legs, right? With a very big coat, it also means that his legs are very weak, so his lower three chakras are not that strong as he portrays his upper chakras are, with the high head, so a very open crown chakra with the feather, and a high head, the ranking with the third eye. The beard speaks over wisdom, and that's connected to the throat chakra. So you might experience somebody else or a part of you that kind of was acting like you're not only better than other people, but that you know more than you actually do. Yeah, because it's like you want people to not know the complete truth about your weaknesses, and because yeah, it's giving Achilles heel, right? It's like you don't really want to know where you don't really want people to know where you lack structure, or that you, for example, you struggle with eating properly, or you don't really or you have like temper tantrums at home, or you have emotional fits at times because you're ashamed of them, or you struggle with really liking yourself, and those things you don't want the world to see those parts of you, those sides of you, right? And because you deem it as a weakness, but there's something in this week's energy that's actually trying to explain to you that you shouldn't see it as a weakness, but more so as a point of improvement. They're trying to very prettily verbalize. It was a very pretty sentence, like it was such a oh darling, don't overthink sentence, because it's like they just want you, they want you not to see it as a weakness or as a flaw, but as a point of improvement. So they also want you to distance from that false truth about yourself, and they want you to understand that there are other ways to grow and evolve and mature, or to show the world that you are, and it doesn't have to be or it doesn't have to come through lying about yourself or your progress, right? Yeah, I'm getting distracted. So, and I also had a weird like moment where I thought something paranormal happened. So it's like somebody might doubt themselves or their gifts, their clairvoyance, or you think you have clairvoyance, but for an example, you're just sleeping very bad, so you're hallucinating. And the thing is, spirituality and science is a very thin line, okay? Everybody who's watching, thin line between spirituality and science. And yes, you can definitely be psychic and those things exist. But you can also F up your hormonal system so bad that your brain is literally creating images, hallucinating, that you're sleep deprived, that you're food deprived, you're sugar deprived, and you're just becoming delusional. That's also very possible. But not wanting to admit that you care badly for yourself, for an example, that's like making you so angry and hard on yourself because you're trying to boss yourself up through hard words, but in fact it's actually just breaking yourself more and more down, and it's turning you actually in another, it's turning you bossy. It's not helping you grow, it's turning you more bitter and rigid and whatever it is. And on Wednesday I feel like you're gonna see where you could actually improve instead of pressing on yourself more, right? And with pressing it's more so like forcing yourself, pressing yourself, like that's just what's coming through. So maybe somebody could be a real G. Like, stop pressing on yourself, dog, because you know you ain't capping. So it's like, yeah, you will understand that something was just an inner child wound. That's why the solar plexus is coming through. It was like a fear for you to embrace something since you were a child because you saw that as failure. You couldn't defend yourself properly, or you, yeah. So it's like, if, for example, if you were bullied a lot or you didn't know how to show up for yourself, step up against those bullies and those bad energies, it's like you decided to give into this defense mechanism that's now haunting your adolescent self. And it's haunting you through making you shallow, making you mean, but not to other people per se, but to yourself, being very judgmental, overly critical, over analyzing, somebody who gives into fear or yeah, how do I say that? Piekeren. It's like giving into worrying all the time till you can't sleep, or eating very badly, you know, having a like no, I feel like it's just like no structure. So it's like you don't work on a clock. You don't, you like, there is no, you don't have no backbone. There is no strength, no willpower. That's kind of what I'm getting. But it's more so all because you learned to protect yourself by flying into this defense mode. So for some people it's also comfort, laziness, avoidance, stuff like that actually. So I'm gonna continue now. And because you experienced this since a kid, it's something that you didn't really, yeah, you just kept burdening yourself with avoiding it until it becomes such a problem that it's now weighing down on you. And on Wednesday you're going to realize what it was, why it was around you for so long. And you can also open your eyes or realize, because look, this also, because there's a second storyline now coming through, this can also be that you will visualize this in other people, because you see it's like they zoomed in on the people, like the small, how do I say that, not force people, the good folk. It's like they zoomed in on the good folk dancing around the baby and this flute, and I feel like you are this collective because that's your original energy. And this is like somebody who wants to kind of also, I feel like this is also somebody who wants you to see their pain. Like they want you to see how wounded they are, but not to like glorify them or to kiss their ass, but to more so have compassion. So this can also be spirit is going to show you something about somebody around you that's been mistreating you very, very, very badly, or did in the past, and they're like, you're going to find out some truth again, or information or knowledge that this person was actually so effed up, going through something so bad. Sorry for cursing, but it's like going through something so negative that it was impacting everyone around them, right? So it's like understanding the bully's story, and then not holding a grudge anymore to this bully, like forgiving them, because you understand that if you would be in that person's place, you would become the same because you're so empathic. That's what I'm kind of getting. A similar situation to that. So it's like awareness is going to come. And what's going to happen on Thursday, please? Wow, yeah, I'm hearing, wow, beautiful, yes. So you're going to learn a lesson that's going to show your beauty, okay, to yourself, but also to the world around you, especially the unseen forces. So the spirits, the ghosts, the dead people, the ascended masters, every entity with good or even bad intentions. That's why it's important to always spiritually protect yourself, because you are visible. There is an outside world, just like when we are in the physical world with spirits around you. So protect yourself, protect your house, and then people can take advantage of that information that you're showing them, right? So also in the physical world, just like sharing your private information online, don't do that in the spiritual world. Don't go out there telling everybody anything. But when moments like this happen, you will kind of be put in a spotlight and your energy will be more noticeable, okay? So that's why it's good, if you want to cloak yourself, then do so. That's what I'm getting. And then on Thursday, wow, what is this switch? There is this kind of a return to sender or a clapback kind of energy here happening with luck. It may be that luck be coming your way. You've been waiting on something. But it can also be bad luck. Let's see on the bottom. Oh no, yeah, it was definitely gossip. So people just mistreating you, talking bad about your new beginning or the way that you're transforming. So this can also be, if you realize that you don't want to be around people like this, that are friends, colleagues, family members that are like we described, then they will talk very poorly about your choice of distancing yourself from them, you see, because you are going out on your own. You're going out on your own journey, and you're going to rejoice with the people that love you and like you and care for you and admire you. But they're going to try and kind of like, yeah, I feel like saying they're going to, not because they're not going to steal per se, but this is a card that speaks of stealing, but they're going to try and ruin that tranquil moment, and unfortunately it's not going to work. So on Thursday they're going to get immediate karma again, and the reason why they're getting karma is because they have not reached this state of, I feel like saying, alchemy, where you understand emotions of yourself and others, and how compassion is important in this world if you want to evolve and grow, because it keeps your mind judgment free about what other people do to you, and it helps you take accountability where it's due, right? So these people are gonna get karma, and then this cycle is going to close. Something that was happening on a Wednesday and on a Thursday for a long time in your life, but something is going to get an end. And this also means, you see how this is the 8, this was 8 altogether. So this could also mean people trying to cloak in your energy. Yeah, because I don't want to go into that energy, but okay, they're guiding me there anyway. So this could also be together, people trying to cloak in your energy and trying to boss you around. On Thursday, Jupiter is gonna stand behind you and redirect that energy. They're going to transmute it, okay? So you might experience or feel that changes are happening around you, or that there's like a dark cloud hanging above your atmosphere, but you feel it's not directed towards you. It's because those who are attached to you and try to boss you around are, I feel like saying, under judgment. And that's something that will always happen, but also this situation is under judgment. Something is going to quit. So you talking badly about yourself, you mistreating yourself, that's also coming to an end, okay? Whatever this lesson was, it's gonna end on Jupiter day. I feel like saying, I want to say on the day of Jupiter. So yeah, on Thursday it's going to end that whole cycle. So that's when you learned this karmic lesson yet again, and it's about yourself, about how you have to treat yourself if you want to reach a higher state of not only consciousness but also reality. But it definitely has to do with also like gossiping to yourself or gossiping about yourself. That's also something that people don't understand. They do, and they gossip about themselves by sharing too much information. So when you feel awkward in a silence between somebody that's new or that you've just met, or when you try to network, if you constantly dump in little piece of information about yourself or secrets just to keep that person interested in you, it's also gossiping, right? So people don't really look back at themselves. People are very quick to look outside of them instead of completely looking at what they're doing themselves. And that's why it's good to always objectively filter what's happening around you and how you're treating yourself and others and what you've gone through and what you desire to go through and what not. Because then you can, they want me to use the word distribute, so you can distribute correctly what is fitting to your situation and what is not, and it helps you move through challenges easier in a way. Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, please. Nice. That card spoke about guidance and being redirected. I just wonder if the setup is still... Yes, filming all the cards properly. Okay. So on Friday, you will receive news again, I feel like, from nature. You see how the trees are bending down to speak to the girl. This is number 5 again. So you will receive some news or something why you felt this certain type of drive or energy come at you on a Tuesday. But also you're going to receive confirmation or more insight. Like, I feel like I want to say, because Friday is the day of beauty, of love, of art, of money, of wealth. You can receive some type of confirmation of a task, or what's the word for this? I'm hearing that they're saying all is well, but it's deeper than that. You will receive like confirmation about something. It can also be gossip, I'm hearing, but it can be news about a leadership position, about you taking the lead up on something. I'm hearing good reviews, people coming back for more. This type of wisdom, this lesson that you were supposed to learn, it's going to hit you on the Friday. So you're going to feel it on Thursday, but it's going to hit your body, your conscious, on the Friday. And you're going to feel it coming from the inside of you. Your own intuition is going to tell you, because your nature, the nature around you, wildlife, is going to talk to your intuition. So whatever you're going to do on Thursday or on Friday, you're going to get that, oh yeah, they're saying rustling sound. So the wind and the trees, they're going to talk to you, the sylphs and the ancestors. They will tell you your lesson. And then on Saturday probably, and on Sunday, we're going to see how it went. Yeah. 17 on the bottom, rest. Your subconscious. Oh, I thought so. I was already tripping. I thought that I forgot. You see this little elf here? I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, look how scary. And the baby is sleeping, and then these two elves, they're like, shh, the baby is sleeping, come back. Don't go there. But it's like, while you're sleeping at night, the fairies and the good folk and the elves are going to visit your body. And this is so weird, but I'm just going to speak out what I'm picking up on. They're going to visit your room, and they're going to share the news with your body, so you will understand that what deeply in your psyche was sleeping is finally coming to rise to the surface. There are 3 elves, right? Mind, body, and soul. This is also number 8. So you will also get confirmation about these people going through karma. Somebody who was trying to be in your energy, or the reason why you had to go through these lessons, right? The like the core reason of your spiritual karma, or why you had to go through this experience. It's going to come up either through a dream, And your ancestors are going to speak in your dream to you through trees or in real life. Through the waking life, the ancestors are going to bring you a message through the sounds of nature. Just like on Monday, the sounds of nature. It's going to give you a message, and that message is going to entail more information around the wisdom that you should retrieve from that lesson. Yeah. 7. So it's about this giving me so much dreaming. It's like you're gonna fly high and you're gonna realize that your perspective was never like wrong. And it's not that you're not down to earth, but it's that you have a more creative and imaginative free spirit that lets you roam without settling on a narrative, you know, and just holding on to one thing. Yeah, and it's helping you just expand emotionally. That's what I'm getting, honestly. Yeah, it's making you wiser. This is Helena. This is the wisest card in this Oracle deck. And it's number 15. That's 6. It's unconditional love. So it's you're going to love yourself. This is something that you realize that is going to help you love yourself even more. This lesson. Wow, I'm excited now for this week. What's going to happen, guys? On Saturday, yeah. So you're going to realize, because it fell on Monday, you're going to think back on Monday on Saturday. It's going to be either a similar type of feeling, but you're going to feel the opposite, the negative of it, falling flat on your ass. And you're going to still learn because, okay, so this is the test. On Saturday is going to come the test. You make the same mistake, but are you going to look at yourself badly again, or are you going to love yourself? Are you going to address it from a good standpoint, or are you going to say, well, yeah, shit just happens. Let's just move on with it, you know? Like, how are you going to handle this? Because then your baggage is going to return to see if you learned from this. So we're in the midst of learning a lesson about loving ourselves, the way that we respond and react with ourselves and our environment. Are you going to handle and carry this baggage and this weight again, or are you going to understand that there is like a part of yourself that can change the choice that you have with carrying it or not? Like, you decide if you're gonna burden yourself again or not. Exactly. You can decide. Are you gonna follow these witches back into the storm again, or are you gonna go out and follow your own path? And this is like a dog. Why is one dog with 3 witches, 3 cats? Why would you do that? Shallow lands. One witch has bare feet, but her broom is not holding, or is her shoe falling off? She has bare feet, y'all. So, and 2 of them, they have souls. So it's like one of them is in touch. So it's like you're sometimes, I feel like, clowning yourself or like making something less of a problem. So you're telling yourself, for example, this: my friend is spiritual, but she is hella karmic. She's very ignorant and she lacks self-reflection. But because she's spiritually aware, it's okay because she'll get there soon enough. And then you tell yourself that it's okay to hang around until she reaches that soon enough, because that's what friends are for. Or yeah, you were there once as well, but it's completely different because that's the highest level of consciousness they're going to reach, babe. Like, there is no soon enough. It's not going to be better than what they have shown you. Otherwise, it would have already improved, you see? So it's like you deciding or choosing to be around people or in a certain mindset or emotional heart space where you know it's actually better if you I feel like I want to say drift off, but it's more so that it's better that you choose to adapt another heart space or mindset that's going to be more beneficial in a positive way. Like, you keep choosing for the negative or something. And you're going to learn your lesson again by experiencing something that is negative to see, are you going to stay in that negative, or are you going to walk out of that with the positive? Yeah. Cloaked as well. Completely in red. So like, are you going to disconnect again. Stop with grounding yourself, you know. This is 5 again. That's so funky. 2, 5, 2, 8, 5, 6. So they're going to tell. Oh, sorry. So they're going to tell this in your dream because they want to see if you are as connected with your subconscious as you say to, or tell other people that you are, or act like you are. Because if you're going to fail on Saturday, then they know that you're not that consciously aware as you believe that you are, or act like you are, or tell others that you are, or think that you are. Because if you would be, you will pass this test. So the next card on Sunday is going to determine if the collective is still ignorant, or are you aware now about what you're not learning, what keeps coming back with 8. Like you're accepting a pattern to happen because you're not choosing to adapt something or change something in your own life or take accountability. It's for everybody, it's different. But if you've watched the reading until this far, you know what I mean, because I can feel that you are aware of your own mess, kind of. Like I can feel that you're owning it. That's what I'm picking up on. So if you are aware what it is, but you're still not changing after you've owned it, that's where the repetition lays of the lesson. So now I'm kind of nervous, honestly. I'm picking up I want to say nervosity. So you are so nervous about something happening or not happening that it literally creates like mental blocks. Well, I rebuke all that energy. May we learn. I don't know, I won't say I always learn. But yeah, that's not always true. But eventually I always learn, but it takes some time. So of course I hope we're going to learn on Sunday and we learned the lesson. Yeah, we learned it, you see. Because I wanted to say, honestly, if we would not learn this, then you are not my collective. Like, it's so weird if I would say that. So now I'm happy I said it now, afterwards. But that's so true because I know of myself. When I wake up, I know exactly what I need to do. I can't even put into words what my intuition tells me, but I just know. That's why it's claircognizant. When you just know. You cannot, the knowing part, there are no letters for the knowing part. There is no code. It's like an unspoken, unverified signal that speaks in Morse code, but there is no code, there is no Morse, there is no beeping, nothing. You know, that's how I know that something is correctly communicated. So I would be very astonished if this card would say that we would not learn it. But with 33, it means we learned. So that's 6, 6. And you see how we divided? We went from 2 to 4, we went to 3, 3. So we're finding that balance. And there's going to be a moment of like happiness, rejoicing. Then we're zooming in again on the fairy. So then we really learned how to not only understand that we can be big whenever we need to, but also it's okay to blend in with the crowd and make ourselves smaller for the purpose of joy, community, and love. That it's okay to always not always speak up, that it's okay to not always show off. You see, to not always be part of something bigger because you feel like it's going to make you a bigger or better person. Like, it's all very shallow. Yeah, but I'm not going to call in that energy because I kind of want to like curse and like talk very like street style, but I don't want to pull that energy into the reading because it's very contagious and it's quick to open itself up to low vibrational energy, and that's something that this lesson doesn't need. So there could also be a strong feeling of wanting to isolate this week or not necessarily hang out with or go to very much social events or hang out with more than 2 or 3 people. It's more so close friends, maybe family members, a little bit of acquaintances. And that's because you understand that your energy right now, it's very vulnerable. And that's good because you're understanding your superpower, vulnerability, right? Sensitivity. And that's also how you learn how to emotionally become more mature. And when you become emotionally more mature, connecting with yourself and with others becomes easier. I mean, that also makes it easier for you to learn how to disconnect, right? So you always get both parties. If you learn one properly, you will have to learn the other two properly, and that's also what this lesson is about. So yeah, exactly. You won't have to fight something off anymore. Like it's over. You can experience on Sunday that even when you have fun, you feel like there is some negative energy still trying to attack you, or that you might sometimes slip through and attack yourself or judge yourself or be harsh or negative. But we're now going to look with the challenge why is it so difficult to do that, and then not to do so anymore. Yeah, because it has grown to be such a strong part of who you are with 18, with 9, that it's difficult to say goodbye. Like it literally became an attachment to your character. This negative part of yourself or this energy, you know what it means, collective and dear watcher. So it's like it was very difficult for you. You see how actually, because these cards, sometimes I love this deck, but sometimes the cards are very scary, honestly, because look at how distorted all these elves and babies look. Like it's fucking scary, guys. I'm sorry, but look at this weird tree. Like these are like weird, distorted, dismembered figures, also of society, right? But also spirits, attachments, things that linger and hold on to you, certain ghosts. Like this is stuff that you picked up on along your journey of spiritually maturing and becoming more aware and conscious. And there is this challenge for you to say goodbye because it has been part of your world for so long. And that's why you shouldn't be mad or angry with yourself about it. But you should definitely accept the challenge of overcoming it. Because it's time to let go of this energy. Because it has been holding you back. It has been holding you in this state of arrogance and mean to yourself. Okay? No mean. No mean. Be very nice. I'm very nice. Sometimes when I was younger, I always wanted to do like voice acting. Acting in general, honestly. I would be such a good actress. I was very good at improvising, I might say. Sorry. So this is like also this is also a part, for example, the sorry part. Like I am not sorry actually about who I am. I am funky, I am weird, I am funny. I am myself, okay? And I can be very childlike and it can trigger other people to become more childlike as well. And then we were just all having fun and laughing our ass off and our belly sore. And yeah, it's something that I aspire to be without saying sorry constantly, but it's because I have personally, for an example, been bullied so much that people made me like feel bad and sick for being myself. So that's also a good example of this reading. It's something that you grew up with, that you made truth about yourself. You accepted it as truth about yourself. And because you did that, it's very hard now to kind of let go of it and understand why it's time to remove this version or this part of yourself. But it's detrimental for kind of, I feel like I want to say, your psychological health, because it's keeping you stuck and distorted in between two worlds, and it's not good for your psyche. Yeah, because the spirits are saying that it can really split yourself or in your character or your memory. There is something that can fade out, and that's not good. So it's important to really just 100% be authentic, be yourself without shame, without judgment. And also understanding that those who don't want you to be yourself, that there is nothing you can do about that except for staying yourself. You cannot make a bully keep his mouth, like you cannot sew it shut or something. And people will tell, yeah, you can use violence. Like, okay, yes, you can use violence, but then what? You break their jaw, they can't talk for 6 months, and then after that they start again. Like it's an like with the number 8, it's a continuous lesson. So it's something that just you need to learn to let go of, and it's the art of detachment, part of accepting and everything. So yeah, man, The challenge is exactly that you need to understand that you are always have a very gracious timeline, and then you have a certain allure around you, a certain type of aura, an energy, or an essence that's very not only childlike, it's very innocent, it's very playful, and it's very not per se pure, because purity culture is a thing, but it's more so very clear. It's very crystal clear, it's transparent, and it's honest, okay? It's also deeply authentic, and you're not afraid for confrontation or making mistakes. You're very brave. And because you have all these strong qualities that make you stand out from the crowd as a natural, you are very much often challenged or made fun of or attacked for it, right? Like people hurt your character or talk smack on you or over you, and they try to trigger you. And it's most of the time always people in a crowd. It's always more than what you thought or more than you could handle or imagine actually that you could handle, because you can handle it. But you told yourself that you couldn't, and it was too much overbearing and strong. But we see here, oh yeah, we see here that there's actually oh, I got distracted for a little bit. We actually see here that you have all these good qualities, and you are always protected. You're with a group, you're underwater, so water spirits are protecting you. You are always with somebody who helps you be guided, so you always have guides around you, you always have a safety net. So there's not really anything that can actually inherently happen to you, but because of the weight and because you're so sensitive. Wow, what's that? Because of the weight and because of you being so sensitive, it's actually causing for you to be kind of like mishandled all the time, honestly. And because it was such a long part of you, it's very easy to push this button. So that's the challenge. Accepting and understanding why you're being attacked so much, or why people always challenge you, or why it was such a hard lesson for you. And it was because you also had to learn that you have to refine your skills to become balanced. You have to kind of, yeah, I want to say like, is that the proper term? Like grow the parts? I don't feel like that's right. So let me just. No. Oh, look the part. Okay. Yeah. So it's like you have to prepare. If you want to reach a certain place, you have to put in the work to get there. It doesn't come to you handed, right? So it's also like you want to constantly level up and become a better person or reach a higher state of wealth, health, family life, building, wishes, dreams. So you have to earn it, kind of. And okay, you have been blessed with these positive attributes of your character and your personality, but that doesn't mean that it will still come effortlessly to you. You still have to put in the work to learn and refine why you have been chosen to get these traits, or what your mission is and behind having these traits, right? So it's like, oh wow, it looks so beautiful. So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of like overwhelmed about it, but in a good way. And there is something that you have to really learn when it comes to working with others. There's something about learning how to work and move in a community. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's... I'm getting distracted. But let's do the Karma Angel. Oh, that's not good. So... Okay, so let's see what kind of angels come out for... or as advice for the situation. Raphael. Number 2 again, so he's helping us with the balance and the harmony part. But in the background then. Metatron and Asalia as well. Oh, with detaching and letting go of that will be deemed part of us. Gabriel and Anael. Yeah, true. Cassiel wants to come out. I'm not gonna take Anael because I made him fall out. Can you? Okay, thank you. Remiel slipped out, and it's also making 10, so I'm gonna keep it at this. Yeah, Metatron Asaria on the background. Gabriel, number 3. Miraculous messages. God is my strength. This card is saying listen and watch out for messages. There is something specifically for you on its way. That's something special you have longed for many... Whoa. Sorry, let me read it again. Because that might have been also... Because I want to say that something that you have longed for many times ago. But the sentence is that something special you have longed for may materialize. Give attention to your dreams, those of day and night. Reflection. Challenge, act on what you hear. Lesson, if it feels wrong, it probably is wrong. That's exactly what we were talking about in the live reading from a few hours ago. Remiel, surveyor of souls. His name means thunder of God, he who watches over mankind. This card speaks of taking time to prepare for the future. Remiel is there for you as long as you stay the course and do not deviate from the plan. Challenge, can you hold back until you have a clear plan? Lesson, persistence breeds possibilities. Alright. Thank you all for watching this reading. I really appreciate and hope that you will be consciously guided through this week and be made aware of that what is important for you to learn and understand so you can move to this new chapter in your journey. I really wish that you all also have a positive week, and I feel more so like I want to say abundant, financially abundant. That's what I really wish. For people to get their money up. But in a good way, of course. Don't do no scamming, no fraud. Okay, guys, because it's gonna... Of course you're not gonna do that. I'm sorry. My collective doesn't do that. I don't do that. I'm just scared to do that stuff. Like, if you want to make it somewhere, you can't be doing those kind of things. Like, if you want to make it big... You understand the consequences of a bad title, and I'm not gonna sell myself out of those bad predicaments, right? Because that's also selling out on yourself, and I ain't gonna do that. Because I ain't no snitch. Thank you all for watching, and have a lovely evening, guys. Week, I'm sorry. Because I think it's gonna be uploaded on Monday morning. So, saying night doesn't make sense. But have a lovely week, guys. And bye.